Hello, Trilby here. Today I'll be guiding you through an upper body sequence to enliven the shoulders and the back, and we'll still be thinking about that core connection as we move together. So meet me in a tabletop position at the top of your mat, stacking the shoulders roughly over top of the wrists, the hips over top of the knees, and then tug the navel up towards your spine. Let's just warm up and ground the breath here. Inhale, arching, lifting the vision, opening up the chest, and then exhale, round and curl everything, opening up the shoulder blades. So give yourself 2 more of those just to land in a conscious breath, to bring some blood flow and awareness into the upper half. And then one more time, flick the sit bones high, reveal your heart, and then coil up through the navel, rounding, stretching, and then coming to what feels like neutral, nice and comfortable. We'll take a few scapula shrugs here. So begin to squeeze the shoulder blades, lifting the shoulders up, and then press and open up at the top. So it's subtle, but you'll feel that squeeze, that hug, and then an opening and expansion of the upper back. Keeping a slight bend in the elbows here, so nothing is gripping. Just beginning to build a little bit of heat between the scapula, shrugging down and up. We'll take one more here, dipping the heart down, and then opening and fluffing up at the top, and then come to neutral. Lifting your right arm up to the sky, twist and turn, lifting the vision, spreading your wing high to the sky, and then swim the arm all the way down. And then take a little child's pose. Glide the hips back, tent the fingertips to find length through the spine, the lateral body, and then glide up to center. Left arm reaches, expanding, opening up the heart, the lungs. Inhale, swim that arm forward, and then glide the hips back. So start to take this a little bit quicker. Let each shape kind of melt into the next. Going for a little swim, continuing to warm up the spine, opening up, getting the fingertips involved here. So it's all very conscious. And then if you wanted to take it a little bit deeper, you could move from a high plank here, opening up and twisting, gliding forward, and then sending the hips high to the sky in a down dog. So whichever version calls to you, you're always welcome to play around with both expressions, see what lands today. It might be different than tomorrow. Just finding some buoyancy and pliability in the body, held by the abdominals the whole time. And then we'll take one more, whichever side you're on, opening up, twisting, feeling that rotation from the spine, gliding back down. And then we'll all meet back into that tabletop and start to take opposite hand to shoulder taps. So right hand taps the left shoulder, take it back down, left to right, take it back down. So on your knees, this might feel perfect, really nice subtle activation for the abdominals. And again, if you want to feel a little bit more vigor in the shape, tuck the toes, lift the knees, find that length, crown of head to hips, and then take some opposite hand to shoulder taps from your high plank. So this one's pretty spicy. We're not going to be here for too much longer, just building some heat in the shoulders. Last 4, try to keep the hips steady no matter where you are. And then one more each way. And last 1. Tapping the knees down, untuck the toes if you lifted those legs up. Final piece on all 4s here, a push-up to child's pose expression. So lowering the chest any amount, taking the elbows out wide to the side, and then pressing up and gliding back into that child's pose. So again, we find that fluidity in the spine, the palms are spread. Does not matter how low you go here. You might lower down an inch, and that can feel really nice and engaging. Or you can take that chest all the way down in between the palms or somewhere in between. Keeping the shoulders pulling away from the ears, slide them down your back, and then feel that activation between the shoulder blades. It's like you're striking a match back there, building some awareness, some heat, and that is really gonna lend to our posture. And then we're getting this nice mobility for the spine as well. So finding that balance of effort and grace, the effort that is the push-up, and then the grace that is that nice fluid transition into child's pose. Take about 3 more here, keeping the gaze down, knowing you can always hang out in child's pose. Taking 1 more wherever you are. Riding that breath. And then land in child's pose and just let your heart rate settle for a moment here. Observing all of that sensation running through the upper extremities. Held by the core. Take a full breath in. And then on the exhale, begin to drag the hands along the mat, drawing chin to chest, and then slowly, slowly, slowly coming up to a tall seat. Now you've got options here. You can come up onto your knees nice and high, or you can stay low, butt to heels. If you'd like, you can take a towel underneath your knees for a little bit of support for the joints. I'm gonna come up here to start, and then we'll take the arms out wide into a T. So it's like you're reaching to give someone a nice big hug, active through the fingertips, navel tugging to spine as we always do, and then start to find a little pulse here. So right away, the sensation should feel real deep connection between those shoulder blades. So we're working on that posture. We're feeling held by the back body, lifting up the chin a touch so you're nice and tall through the spine. And the legs are just holding you, grounding here. All of the effort in the shoulders, that back body, and those upper limbs. Couple more pulses here. It doesn't take too many to start to feel a little bit of heat build. If you feel like your neck is starting to feel a little bit tense here, just take it a little bit lower. So that's a nice little variation. And then notice if you're starting to get the ribs moving in, we want to keep the ribs contained here. So all of the movement is in the arms and the back body. The front body is nice and stoic and calm. For 4, last 3, feeling that heat now, 2, and pause. From here, draw those elbows into the ribs and then find that big stretch. So pull as you exhale, inhale to expand. So as you draw those elbows into the ribs, you want to think about engaging and wrapping the abdominals in. So every exercise ends up being a core exercise, feeling really held, really tall, really regal here, and then moving a little bit faster in, reaching out, squeezing and lengthening, and then giving the glutes a slight squeeze just so you feel grounded through the lower body. Little check-in on the ribs, noticing if they're trying to join the party, contain them and wrap them in towards the spine. For 4, last 3, notice the heart rate lifting a little, 2, and at the top, hold it. Put a bend in those elbows, 90 degrees here. Ribs in, glide it forward, and then up overhead. So this is more a mobility movement for those shoulders. We want to feel the whole shoulder girdle moving around here. So really exaggerating, keeping the shoulder blades heavy. So lots of space between the tip of the ear and the tip of your shoulder. And then gliding through space, almost like you're moving through something kind of viscous here. Taking your time, and again, you can always take a second, shake it out, reset, come back in. It's a lot for the shoulders, and we don't even have weights here. Couple more. Notice if you're gripping through the face, keeping that breath nice and smooth and nourishing. For 4, 3, 2, and last 1. We'll all come down to our seat if you are lifted. Reach the arms overhead like you're trying to touch the sky, and then draw the arms behind you as if you're trying to connect the pinkies. They won't touch, but just imagine and feel that squeeze, and then lift the arms all the way up overhead. So gliding through space, feeling the arms move around your circumference. Opening up, feel that little pause to squeeze and activate the back body. So even though there is effort here, it should feel kind of tender, mobilizing, hydrating that shoulder joint, releasing the synovial fluid that is so integral to our happy, healthy joints. Check in on the ribs. I just caught mine popping out. This is something you could do any time in the day just to get the blood flowing a little bit, especially if you've been sitting for a long time, looking over a computer screen or a phone or sitting on the couch. Nice to open up and counter that rounded shape in the spine. We'll take 2 more here, really stretching out those palms. And then last one, and then reach in the arms all the way back. Last time, squeeze, 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 and let it go. Hands to thighs, palms face the sky. You're welcome to close the eyes, drop the chin down, and then just revel in sensation. So notice how you've alivened your upper half. This feeling of openness, availability through the chest, being held by the back body. Perhaps a feeling of clarity running through your joints, like you've opened up your inner channels. And we'll close with a full breath in all together. And then release it out. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope it sets the tone for the rest of your day.